Hello and welcome to Chadify, everyone. In this video, we will be analyzing the facial attractiveness of two individuals and presenting theoretical simulations and strategies for self-improvement, all based on aesthetic principles we believe enhance perceived attractiveness. This is a private service by default. No one appears in our videos unless they've explicitly chosen to. Confidentiality is the default for every client at Chadify.me. And if you want to read a quick disclaimer, here it is. We will be employing a mathematical rating criteria that we developed, which goes over 99 facial attributes. Here is face number one, guys. He's 23 years old, 152 pounds at 5'11". Looks like he took a nice selfie. He does need to clean his mirror. You can see some spit on the right side and even the left there. And then we get a side profile shot and a smiling shot. The essential views. So face number one is definitely a strong match with the Celtic phenotype. He definitely looks like he might be Irish or British to some degree, despite having a bit darker hair, which does occur in those regions to some extent. Additionally, he definitely has some admixture of the alpinid phenotype, which is notorious for having darker and broader features. The beautiful thing about being a bit of a blend in this case is that we can do a morph simulation to determine where exactly the face is in terms of its overall appearance. So face number two, in my estimate, as we go through here from the alpinid to the Celtic phenotype, is around here. He's right between these two phenotypes, and this is kind of the Chad archetype or phenotype that face number one can strive towards through his Looksmaxxing going forward. Getting a phenotype estimation like this provides incredible clarity as to what is likely the optimal path going forward for your Looksmaxxing journey. Alright, so best features in order of importance. Face number one, let's get into it. First of all, he has very dark, thick eyebrows and eyelashes, probably a feature that all of you noticed. Additionally, he's an excellent chin philtrum ratio with 2.3 chin length to 1 philtrum length. It's slightly on the lower end of optimal, but luckily because he has very thin lips, plumping them up will simply enhance this further. Moving on, he has an excellent smile. I like the way the teeth look to some degree. He's high cheekbones, mark them in pink, and I use the pupillary slope to determine how far beneath the eye these cheekbones are. I find this to be a very accurate way of measuring them versus some of the other people out there who measure it against the mid-face and the mouth. I find the mid-face and the mouth vary too much, whereas there's more consistency in the vertical eye placement area, meaning that if you measure cheekbones against it, it's infinitely a better measurement. He's short eyebrow distance, and this is how I measure it as well. Far better than the other creators out there that I find. They use the mid-face, they use the nose length, they use certain things that vary tremendously amongst ethnic groups and different levels of masculinity. My version relies on the width and the size of the eye itself in relation to the brow. And this is just a superior way of measuring this. Additionally, he's facially lean and he has a good hairline. It's very low, it's very thick, he has dense hair. He also has an excellent mental labial angle of 130 degrees, meaning his chin actually has a lot of curvature to it, which is ideal. And he has forward maxillary growth overall. So there is a decent amount of forward growth of his face in the upper hemisphere. We're going to see a bit of a paralleling, interesting issue here later on. And on to the flaws in order of importance. Face number one. First of all, he has multifaceted jaw issues. This is what I was hinting at earlier. He may have good maxillary growth on the upper area. In fact, if you were to cover everything up from like this region, you would see that he actually is quite attractive from the side, but his lower jaw is somewhat impaired. First off, we're going to talk about the mandibular structure. There is just not enough forward growth here. Compared to his nasion, if we go all the way down and we draw a perpendicular line with the Frankfurt plane, we're going to find that his chin is recessed relative to his nasion. Ideally, it should match the nasion or slightly exceed it. This is likely leading to some minor downward growth, but I think his lower mandible is simply too short. And as a result, we have an 169.9 mandible angle here from the side. This isn't the best. It means it's a little bit too curved. And he also has a submandibular contour angle of 21.7 degrees. This is just too high. It means that there's a bit of hyoid sag, and it's also reflected in a 116.4 degree cervicomental angle. Everything is just pushed back a little too far, unfortunately. It's not that he's overweight, it's that things are not forward grown enough from a jaw perspective. Additionally, face number 1 has a deviated septum. In fact, it's incredibly crooked. When you look really closely, it might be the shading to some degree exaggerating it because it almost looks a bit cartoonish, but I would say it's some extreme deviation. Additionally, he's a narrowing lower third to some degree. Face number 1 has a very long lower third of 39% of his facial length, whereas his midface is 32%. That's pretty good. Obviously, these numbers will get shorter as the one in the bottom gets longer. Pushing back his hair might actually be optimal in his case, believe it or not. Moving on, he has greasy hair. It doesn't look like it's well kept. And he has a rough skin texture overall, despite being rather oily. So these two things might go hand in hand. So that's the end of his flaws. Guess face number 1's rating, guys. We got our pretty boy blend dimorphic masculinity scale here. 5 out of 10, peaking from the more masculine zone at about 5.5 out of 10. He's not a bad looking guy. He's a bit plain looking, and he does have some flaws which are preventing him from getting to that 6 out of 10 range that's above average. Technically, he's ever so slightly more attractive than the median or average face. Looksmaxxing suggestions for face number 1. Revisit hair care. Shower more. I know this sounds maybe a little bit funny, but the truth is face number 1 has to recognize that there's a fine line between showering too often and too little. This is something that I've had to dabble with, being someone that has oilier skin. You can't shower every day because you're stripping the oil out of your hair, which can lead to early onset male pattern baldness. But it also can just thin out your hair unnecessarily. Additionally, not doing it enough for some people, especially people that have oilier skin, can lead to skin problems like acne or clogged pores, and even a hair texture which looks like this. Darker on the front, you can see the grease in it, you can even see how shiny his forehead is, not optimal. Skincare. Since face number 1 here has oilier skin, using a gentle cleanser with salicylic acid is relatively critical, especially for oilier people. This unclogs the pores from within the skin, and it exfoliates dead skin that causes this rough texture that he has, reducing blackheads, whiteheads, and acne in general. And some of these products here are decent. I personally used a CeraVe one before, and I found it to be tremendously helpful overall. Moisturize. Even with oilier skin, after you cleanse, you should use some form of oil-free moisturizer with hyaluronic acid built in for hydration. Finally, a sunscreen. Using some sort of combination is ideal in my opinion. So that's why the CeraVe AM moisturizer plus sunscreen combo works tremendously well. And the PM variant, you just do the same thing, but with no sunscreen. Additionally, moving on, rhinoplasty. Since there's massive deviation in his septum to address, I believe this has both cosmetic and health benefits, as many people get sleep apnea later on in life due to deviation. Again, this could be partly due to the shadow. It has some implication here, but it does look slightly deviated. And then hairstyle, a lot can be done here going forward, as we're gonna see. Time to Chadify face number 1. Let's take him up to the A+ level of facial attractiveness. With infinite budget comes infinite possibilities. Here's his dimorphism graph as he gets chatified, and you can see how it's becoming a more balanced curve. Not everybody gets like this. Some people, they retain their masculinity or their femininity in their face. In this case, face number 1 actually increases some of the femininity a little bit more than the masculinity, and this is not a bad thing. In his case, I think it's optimal. We're excited to announce the launch of the newly updated Chadify.me. We focus on providing people with the ultimate experience tailored to individual physical self-improvement needs. The essential package here includes a full facial analysis. We've expanded from analyzing just over 50 facial attributes to now covering more than 99. The level of detail in our reports has effectively doubled to closer reflect the true complexity of the human face. Additionally, you'll now find dedicated pages explaining dimorphic analysis and phenotypic analysis, offering clear insights instead of brief summaries. Moving on, we have the advanced package, which includes everything in the essential package with the addition of a personalized Looksmaxxing strategy. This includes a tailored improvement plan to your needs, facial subcategory suggestions, whether it's the jaw, mid-face, or the eyes, and guidance on both natural and professional methods. as well as a breakdown on high impact versus low impact tactics. What is the highest ROI? The Ultimate package offers everything in the Advanced package, plus our signature chatification experience. This includes one chatified edit with the option to purchase more, a before and after chatification morph, and a before and after dimorphism graph animation. This is our most in-depth and valuable package, boasting the most reviews, and is ideal for anyone looking to fully commit to their transformation journey. It includes everything. Additionally, we now include a dedicated progress-focused page because we believe that this isn't a one-time service, it is an investment to your long-term transformation. If you've had an analysis done before, it's always helpful to see where you stand now and how far you've come. Every package also includes a free 9-page portrait guide, helping you take flattering, high-quality photos for your analysis, as taking photos is ever more important in such a digitalized society. This has been one of our most requested additions, and it's finally here for everyone. Many clients have shared that while they value this entire analysis, they prefer to not receive a numerical rating. That feedback has been heard, and the face rating portion of this is now completely optional. When placing your order, simply choose whether to include it or not, and the report will remain just as detailed in every other aspect. Be sure to check out our mission page. It features engaging interactive tools that showcase our research. One highlight, in my opinion, is the spinning globe, which illustrates the primary migratory paths humans took as they spread across the planet during prehistory. Don't forget to give it a spin. Moving on, we have the zoomed in front version chatification here, and you can really see how everything gets more attractive, and the longer hair is incredible, and then the thicker hair. Now, I already think he has thick hair, he just needs to push it up more, and this will balance out the thirds of his face better. We can see that we plumped up his lips a little bit, potentially with filler, potentially with some of the other things out there. There's volafine I've heard of that might have some implications which are positive, or maybe a lip flip. There's a lot you can do here. We don't want to do too much, we just want to add a little bit of bulk to it. And obviously I straightened out his nose completely. I did a tiny bit of work on his right ear as it was a little bit bigger than the left, but this is so minor that he probably shouldn't even bother. Ultimately, this looks amazing. You can tell how I didn't overly bulk him up because I think he actually does suit a more blended masculinity approach. If he were to get his side profile chatified, you would see that the bottom jaw was brought forward to some degree. Alright guys, face number 2, age 18, 141 pounds at 5'7". So he's a bit younger. Here's a side profile, and here's a smiling shot. Face number 2 is a blend of the East European phenotype and the Lapid phenotype. And ultimately, all this means is that his heritage genetically is likely from the Finnish areas, blended with some of the more northern West European areas, resulting in this slightly squintier eye appearance. And as a result of this, we can simulate, using my incredible morpher here, what blend approximately from a morphological phenotypic perspective, and so we can strive to something which is more personalized to his individual face. This is the estimation I have for face number 2. Sure, his eyes are a little bit darker. Sure, there's differences, but from like a phenotypic perspective, I think that's the closest resemblance to face number 2. So, best features in order of importance. Let's get into it for face number 2. First of all, he's smooth skin texture, way different from face number 1, partly because he's a bit younger, but also because he just has that prettier skin tone. Sometimes it does come down to lighting, photography, and definitely still a strong point for him. Secondly, he's excellent hair quality, very thick, very beautiful hair, I like it. Thirdly, is an ideal jaw frontal angle of 85.6 degrees. I find for people that are a bit thinner, a bit smaller, a bit younger, that this angle can sometimes be a bit more acute. It can be lower, meaning that there isn't as much width to the jaw. When someone's this young with that much width and that much size, it means that they're going to fill out into their jaw, or their frame rather, which is very much an ideal situation to be in. Face number 2 is facially lean with very tight hyoid skin. You can even see that his mandibular notch here, some people call it the submandible notch or the mandibular notch, but there's a bit of a notch there, it comes in, and that does look more attractive than having it be curved the other way around. He has defined cheekbones, which is really ideal, though not completely hollowed out, and he has a forward grown maxilla. He's deep set eyes with the positive vector. So the positive vector is measured against the Frankfurt plane. And if the eye sits beneath it, if it sits a little bit below that infraorbital rim kind of area here, then it means they're more deep set and they're not protruding out. This prevents that bug-eyed appearance that some people have. I don't even know why I included this, but technically his measure for his mandibular plane angle is just under 20 degrees. This isn't bad. It isn't that great either. Just ignore that one. And that's it. On to the flaws for face number 1 in order of importance. First off, he does have a mole. Actually, it might be plural, clear as day in these other ones, and maybe there as well. And here, I don't know. Ultimately, he has some moles. Some people have this as a genetic thing. It's not ideal. It technically is a flaw to some degree, but you're going to see some magic work soon. Secondly, his ears stick out. Now, this is also common for lighter people. If you minimize lens distortion, you're going to see this a bit more, but they do stick out a little bit too much, I would say. He also has slightly light eyebrows. They're not dark and thick enough. His eyelashes aren't bad, but still not on par with what I would say is the Chad representation of how he could look. Face number 2 is a thin lower lip, and he has small eye size of 129% of one eye with the part in the center portion. His eyes almost look a little bit small and beady, which is a slight flaw for sure. Face number 2 is asymmetric canthal tilt. In his left eye, it's 4.7 degrees, it's positive still, but in his right is 11.4 degrees. That's a bit of a difference, and it is noticeable to some degree, but it's not like the end of the world. I still think his eyes have a lot of good features mixed in. And he has a slightly flat chin profile with a mental labial angle of 155.5 degrees, but he doesn't have jaw recession. So that's the key here. That's a bit of a differentiating point between face 1 and face 2. Face number 2 here, if he had more roundness, if he had a more curved mental labial angle, he would have enough forward growth to be deemed optimal in his case. Now, this actually correlates a bit with high facial convexity, with a total facial convexity degrees of 163.4. And again, this is so much attributed to that chin, because up here, it's very attractive overall. Both face number 1 and face number 2 have attractive upper and middle thirds, and they have a slight trail in that lower third. So let's guess face number 2's rating. See how attractive he really is. Boom, 6 out of 10, peaking from the more pretty zone, and about a 6.375 out of 10. You know, technically his tilt is actually quite big, but it's blunted. Naturally, he probably would be sitting out here a little further if he had more pretty dimorphism built in, beyond just the skin deep, neotenous young look that he has. So this ties us directly into Looksmaxxing suggestions, and the hairstyle is very critical. He has good hair, but the things he can do here with longer length are tremendous. Moving on, fitness and neck training. Even with prettier dimorphism, muscle does help, and from the side view, he has a thin neck, and ultimately I think that this is going to benefit him all around. Thirdly, orthodontics. If you look at his smiling shot, and I didn't say it was a flaw because technically his smile isn't bad, but you can see here that there are some diastemas or gaps between all of his teeth. They're not entirely optimized, and I do believe if he brings his teeth together, he could improve certain aspects, and maybe even if he does have just a tiny bit of a class 2 bite, we could bring this forward naturally through braces. Time to Chadify face number 2. Let's do it. At Chadify, full privacy and confidentiality is guaranteed. However, if you do want to be in one of these videos to support the channel, feel free to reach out. Boom. We're fixing that blunted dimorphism in the prettier realm. We're extending his graph, we're shifting it mainly towards the prettier zone rather than the masculine. Like obviously from the more masculine zone, he's never going to score much higher, at least at this age. And so we can see the zoomed in version here. The ears come in, the lips get even a bit thicker, mainly the lower lip, and then a longer hair variants are just incredible for face number 2. And then we got the side view. You can see how I brought the lower jaw forward. It just looks so good. And then the longer hair, unbelievably attractive. I get that some people are going to say that shorter hair is less niched for him, but I would say, honestly, the longer hair is what I would go with personally if I were him. He looks amazing, and notice how I didn't mess with the mole. Technically, yes, he could get it removed. Technically, that is a Looksmaxxing suggestion that I could give him. But the idea here is sometimes embracing a small flaw which adds uniqueness to your face can actually work to your advantage once you modify or optimize the other areas which you prefer to get rid of in the first place. For example, the chin. the lips, and just some of the other features, and even refining his nose a bit more, had much more of a positive impact. Removing the mole might remove some of his identity, so it really depends on individual context for sure. So we got our two faces here, different starting points, different changes. I would say that face number 1 is a little less attractive from a starting perspective, at least from the blend masculinity zone, and as a result his features move a little bit more than face number 2, as face number 2 is chatified, as he's already a bit more attractive. Everyone has a different starting place, and that's totally fine. One of the many reasons why Chadify is so incredibly unique and helpful for physical self-improvement. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like, as it helps the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys next time.